Hello, my Leo Collective. This is Zaida Velgara from Becoming I Am here with the astrology of January, February, March of 2026. I hope you are ready for the message. Overall, I want to first tell you about how your frequency is going to be affected for 2026. In other words, what you're going to be focusing on. So, I have some oracle decks that I want to see what the main topic will be for you guys in 2026, and then I'll do tarot for every single month, okay? So let's see. This is my chakra deck. It tells me the energy center is going to be focused on. Oh, this is interesting. We have impartiality. And do you see the two paint cans? Oh, let me put this in front of my face. Two paint cans. And then if you look at the lady, there's like this veil around her. All right. There's a song, Paint the Town Red. And it says, ooh, I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead. That was my theme song from last year. Anyways, first of all, it's gray. The fact that it's gray means that right now, all your energy centers will feel blocked. It's kind of like you will feel blocked. You will feel distorted. You will feel different, like something is off, right? But you're being really protected with that veil over you, very protected during this season. The reason is it's because you're stepping into this, I want to say, new reality for yourself. And there's a need to separate you, um I want to say, from yourself, because you're supposed to see the world around you like they want you. Okay, so they told me that they want you to see what you have created based on the wounds that you were carrying, and so that you're looking at your life not like you're living them, because when we're living the life, we're very emotional and stuff. They don't want you to do that. They want you to look at your life like if you're watching a movie and you're judging the person that is in the movie, um, so that you can determine how you need to adjust and paint your reality differently. That's interesting. That is interesting, my Leos. Okay, let me see. Oh, two came out. Two came out. We have the sixth house with sustainability. You see, this is what I'm saying. It's like it is an activation of all your sacral spaces, like your energy centers, but they're being flushed out and neutralized so that you can create like a new foundation for yourself. And then we have a conjunction with an alliance. I feel like there is something new coming into your life in 2026. This can be a new relationship, a new business endeavor, a new way of living your life, right? Let's say, I'm just turning, like, maybe there's a divorce, maybe there's a firing, maybe there is a transfer of a job, maybe there's a new friend or a new partner or a new acquaintance that's going to come into your life, or a new way of looking at the world. So it's like maybe like a new form of study, etc. It just feels like something new is entering into your life. And when I saw the geese, I'm like flying south for the winter. And what I'm feeling is that you're going back to your south energy, south node energy, right? So the past lives, past experiences that you've had in this life and whatever. And there might be a rehashing of old stuff. So I want you to be very mindful during this year of 2026, because you might be rehashing some of these old situations that you really didn't process correctly, because you're going to come back to your north by the end of the year. But in the beginning of the year, I feel like you're going south first, and then you'll come north later. Probably halfway through the year. I heard no, like around November. That's interesting. See, and then we have the siren, and that's like a ruby. It feels like you're being called to go deeper into yourself and deeper into your truth and deeper into the things that are hidden inside of you. You know what? Let me look up what I'm going to pull out my archetype book and pause it so that I can look this up. Look at this. This is super interesting. This is why I'm saying, like, this feels like this is not oh, my ears are getting really thumpy. Um, this feels like you're not going to be able to resist this, like a siren's call, right? Because the siren's call, it's like they called people and they would turn their ships into rocks and die, right? And so you're being called, and I know this is, you're going to have to do hypothetical stuff here and see a picture. Remember that this is all about healing. And so what I'm seeing is you're going to be called to turn your ship into the rocks so that you can die, so that you can come back to life as something else. And the reason why I'm saying that is because it says, following her song, we go down, down, down to the places where lessons are learned and courage must be railed to find our way back to dry land. Try as we might, resisting the call may be even um, may not even be an option unless you're like Odysseus that bind himself to the mast of the ship so he wouldn't follow it. And so, and it says here the light aspect of it is awaken sensuality. So it's waking up something in your sacral space that was blocked or resisting change. There's also absorption and arousal, but the dark side, it says wickedness, adultery, wreckage, betrayal, instability. And I feel like this card is telling me that there's two ways that this can go, right? Because I can tell you from personal experience that when we go into our shadow self, like when we go into the dark crevices of ourselves, the things that we try to ignore, the things that we actually became blind to, right? Because our mind has a way of blocking certain experiences, certain thoughts, certain things that happen to us. Our mind blocks them in order to protect us. Okay. Um, and it's like an upheaval of something that was hidden inside your brain that you weren't allowing yourself to process, but now you're going to go deep and actually see that. I'm telling you, like, even the geese, I felt like going south to the winter so you can come back up. And it reminds me of the Jesus story where he was put in the cross and killed so he can descend into hell and then come back to earth to ascend into heaven. Okay? Because that's what happens. Like, once we die, once a part of us dies, we descend into this dark crevice of ourselves and we get lost in that darkness for a while. And then after that happens, we come back into our world, but we see things differently. We perceive things differently. And people, when they see us, they don't even recognize us because we're not the same. Now, we can physically look the same, but we don't act the same. We don't talk the same. And people are like, I don't like this version of you because I knew the old version and I knew how to control that old version, but not this new one. Right. And then you get to this point where you're like, I see now that I'm not part of this world anymore. It's time for me to ascend. And when I'm saying ascend is that you elevate the friend groups that you are in and the people that surround you because you're no longer like them. I'm hearing that song. They're not like us. They're not like us. That's what I'm feeling like. Mm. And look at, we got Luna, which is the moon. And this is talking about a distortion. There has been a distortion, the way that you see the world, the way that you interpret things, the way that you are easily triggered by things like that. They're all linked to something that's hiding really deep inside of you that you haven't let anybody see, but that it's distorting you, it's clouding you, and you're protecting yourself. But I'm not sure if you're painting the world the way that you would like to be painted, or you're painting the world based on the pain that you have inside of you. That's this one's a Leo. I'm not trying to be mean here, but I think 2026 is gonna be a hella crazy triggering year for you. Crazy. Let's go with January. I'm gonna be putting the card series. I don't need this video flagged, FYI. So I'm gonna try to remember, because this is a new thing I'm trying to do. Not show you guys the cards. I'm gonna put them down here so you can see. I'm shuffling them. They're coming out. I'm putting them how they fall out, but it's just not worth it. It's what I'm gonna tell you. Um, wow, there's a lot of people in this mess. This is not just about you. There's at least 3 people. There's at least 3 people in this mess. The bottom of the deck, we have the 5 of Pentacles. And this is talking about you having doubts about leaving something behind. And this is where I'm feeling. So we have the Queen of Swords, the car, well, they have it as the altar space here, but it's the Chariot card. There's the Magician. There's the King of Swords in the reverse. There's a Queen of Wands in the reverse. And then there's the Temperance card. Right here, I'm feeling that the person that you are at this moment is the Queen of Swords upright. And it doesn't matter if you're man or female. Queen of Swords is a person that is starting to see the truth about the story that they've been writing. And I'm saying that because behind them, there's like her, there's a lot of books, and she's sitting with a book in front of her with a sword, right? This feels like the Akashic records, right? And so for me, that tells me you're looking through the story of your life. So you're starting January at looking to all the events in your life that led you to here, because you're trying to figure out something. With the Queen of Swords, it feels like you want to see something. You want to see a truth. You want to understand something that you haven't been understanding, because you want to move forward. The Chariot card right after that with the altar, I feel like that's the altar of my body, the temple of my body, and there's something you want to move forward in. And you're hoping and looking at the story of your life that you can see the tools that you have in your hands at this moment that will help you move forward. Because the Magician for me is not magic. The Magician for me is the tools that I have acquired through my life experiences that will help me take action, that will heal my emotions, that will clear my mind and my words, and that will create that stability, um, and the connections we have of people, places, things, energies, monies that will help us create that stability we want. So you're using all 4 elements to be able to create a new reality for yourself. And that's good because January is the year of the seeds that we're planting, right? But right here, it's like, what seeds do I want to plant? I feel like there's something I'm not seeing. There's like some kind of distortion. And the more you try to ignore it, the more you're feeling inside of you like there's something off. There's a piece missing in this puzzle. I'm not seeing it right. I need to go deeper. And then we have 2 individuals, the King of Swords in reverse and the Queen of Wands in reverse. King of Swords in reverse is a person that is very narcissistic. They use their mind and their intellect and their words to, you know what I just heard? The Leviathan spirit. I just saw this whole thing about it. So the spirit of the Leviathan, right? The serpent that's going to kill the world, right? It's the serpent that twists the words around and makes you eat yourself, right? Like you come, this is the narcissistic energy where you come with something to this person. Hey, I have a problem with this that's going on in my life. And then this person says, so you're telling me that the problem is something completely different. And then they make you question why you came to them. And then you end up saying, I'm sorry to this person when they're the ones at fault. It's a lot of, it feels like somebody that's a big gaslighter, right? That twists your words, that twists your mind, that twists you in such a way that you, once you see the world this way, and after talking to them, you see it the way they want you to see it instead of the truth that you knew you had. That's the Leviathan spirit, and I'm seeing it here. It's this person is working off their masculine energy, So they are very much in this position where they want to be the boss, they want to take control of things, they want to be the I want to say dictator, right? And then we have the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands in reverse is not a good energy to have, because this is a person that will take any action necessary to get what they want. So you have two people, masculine and feminine, wanting to get what they want no matter what the cost. One is taking action. So I'm going to go over here um and do this shady business in the back so I can get what I want. I'm going to go over here and do this spell work over here if I want it. I'm going to go over here and talk to this person so that they can fix this other problem for me. You know what I'm saying? It's like very toxic energy. And what I'm seeing here, and this is again your energy, because you're sandwiching these two individuals' energies, okay? You're sandwiching it. And what I'm seeing here is the Temperance card, where you're having to like hear both sides of the story and see both sides of a situation so that you can come into balance with what you're going to do next. And there is this fear that you're going to have to let somebody go. And if you're making the right decision on it. And the reason is because, first of all, I'm seeing this might be family. Secondly, this might be children that you have that might be affected by it. And thirdly, it is moving into calmer waters, but it is also leaving something else behind. You know, like I just recently heard this from somebody. Sometimes we want an option in which everybody kind of wins. But sometimes that option is not an option. And what you need to turn on is your inner psycho and kind of be a little bit narcissistic yourself and think about what is going to be the best outcome for you. And they'll have to figure out the best outcome for them. Some people really do have to be let go of. I think your empathy muscle has to turn off, which is great because right now Capricorn is in Venus. And so Capricorn being in Venus, so it will be by the time by sometime next week when I did this message, but by the time January comes around, it will be there in the entire month of January. So your empathy card is kind of, and sympathy card is kind of low. So it'll help you a little bit. Um, this is very interesting energy. All right, let's look at February. I'm starting everything with work. 8 of Pentacles. 3 of Swords. Strength card. I really do feel for some of you guys, if you guys are bosses or if you guys are directors or something in positions where you would hire people, this is definitely, it feels like letting somebody go. And if you aren't the boss energy, this can be letting go of a family member, a friend, somebody you consider family. It just feels like closing a door to a chapter to a person because they're just not in alignment with you. Wow. We have the Hermit energy in the background. And we have the 2 of Wands. This is a new path. You're doing something outside your normal. People are used to you being nice and kind and courteous and thinking about them and being crazy empathetic. That's turning off on you. And I think it's supposed to be, because this next chapter that's supposed to enter your life, you need to turn off that empathy. Sometimes, when you're facing a narcissist or you're facing a Queen of Wands in reverse, you tell them, this is what I'm going to do now. This is my boundary. I've noticed that this is happening all the time. I appreciate the time we spend with each other. I appreciate the lessons that we've learned with each other, etc. But I need to think about me right now, and this is not healthy for me. And then you're going to have to move forward, right? And then the other person will start, but what am I supposed to do here? What am I supposed to do with this other thing? Blah, blah, blah. Sad story, smallest violin in the world. And it's like, okay, If that was true, what you're saying to me right now, that you have family you need to take care of, and you have all these things, and you have all these plans, and things are going to be different, then you should have thought of that before we got into this situation where it's not going to work out, right? um And so that's a you thing. That's not a me thing. My thing is that given you the time, the energy, the effort, the fortitude to be able to move this situation forward. I'm sure you've had other conversations with this individual about this, and they didn't listen. These individuals, because there's more than one, about this, and they didn't listen. So it's kind of like, okay, I'm sorry that you're going through a difficult time. I can sympathize with you because I've been through that, but that doesn't mean that I should accommodate for you. That's for you to make the adjustments necessary for this not to happen for you in the future, right? Because in a way, they were being selfish when they were thinking about their needs and not seeing how that was affecting you. Keep that in mind. I'm telling you that because I'm seeing, again, this is a work thing. So in spirit, work can be literal work, right? But it can also be something that is in your soul, like your vocation, your dreams, aspiration, your life. And here we have sadness. That's not you sadness. I really don't feel like this Three of Swords is a you Three of Swords. It's a them Three of Swords. And then we have the Strength card after it, which is you having to stand strong in the decision you made to move forward or to do whatever it is that you were supposed to do, because you really analyzed the situation prior to moving forward. Here we have the Queen of Pentacles, which I think is your energy again, where your energy is very grounded. The Queen of Pentacles upright is this queen where she is stable and secure in her decisions she's making. She's done all the checks and balances, and she's thought about things, how to move forward. So now you're presenting in the female energy of the Queen of Swords, having the intelligence and like getting the receipts to be able to make the decision, and the Queen of Pentacles, which is after checking these boxes, I'm going to make a decision that is grounded and stable, out of emotions, but practical. And so, whatever I'm talking to you about, if you're not a female, it doesn't matter, because I'm seeing two energies here that have to do with the queen energy. So, this literally has to do with some creation of yours, right? Something you want to manifest, something that you want to create for your future. That's what this is focusing on. And that's why your energy of the female shows up a lot. And then they show up as the Knight of Wands. And I feel like that is going to reveal to you their darker side, because they're going to be very passionate about the fact that they do not want you to move forward. They do not want you to move away from them. And passion can present itself in, I'm going to strongly pursue you and tell you how much I need you and I love you and whatever. Or passion can result in aggressivity. It depends on the person you're dealing with. And since you have two individuals, you have the King of Swords in reverse. That one will probably love bomb you and try to convince you how much of a good person they are and how much they're willing to change in the future, in a future that you don't know, because they're not going to do shit with it. Or the second, they're going to attack you and your character and the person you are, because they're stuck in their feelings. And here we have the Hermit. I heard better off alone. You're better off alone. Okay. But the thing about the Hermit card here, and this one I will show you because it's interesting. It's a woman looking at the mirror. And what I'm telling you is this: I'm a big believer that everybody in our lives are a reflection of us. And I know that triggers people because they're like, no, this person was like this and like this and like this, but they're all mirrors. Some people mirror the wounds that we carry to us, and they have us repeat the cycle of darkness and ugliness because that wound is still very present in us, and we're allowing ourselves to get hit in the face over and over with this wound until we release it. Okay? It's like you are the cement walls that they put to block the waves. They have it in Spanish, they have a word for it, but in English, I don't. a wave blocker, right? And the waves just keep hitting you and hitting you and hitting you until you stop that cycle. Okay, so there's that. Or a person is a reflection of you, especially if you admire them. The qualities that you admire in another person, they are present in you. You just can't see them in you. And they're just being a mirror for you to realize they're inside of you, right? You might need to do some work to reach it because the person is in front of you because they're triggering your healing, but it's inside of you. And so here it's saying you're better off alone than being with these people because they are not stable and that's affecting you. And you're going to see how their reflection in your life has come through in many different people because you hadn't healed those wounds. Again, going back to healing the wounds in the beginning, right? I feel like this year is going to be very strongly about realizing that sometimes we attract the same kind of people in our lives because we are still living in the shadow aspect of ourselves. We're still living in our wounds. And until we release them, we won't be able to live a different story. And that is the real karmic wheel. Like our need to hold on to the past creates a never ending cycle of torture for the future. I split the deck in the Emperor card. This is good because I feel like that's you stepping into your boss energy. But here we go with March. Legit, Leo, you're giving me a headache. Temperance again. We started January with Temperance. We're ending March with Temperance again. I think that if you had Four of Pentacles, if you had any confusion in January, if you should let certain people go. Remember how I told you that, oh, here, Magician came back. That's significant that Magician came back again. The cards that come back in following months, it's a rehash of the same energy. And now that you gathered more information, you can make a better decision. And you're choosing you. I want to see what's in between these two. Hold on. Because okay, the bottom of the deck, we have the Strength card again. That's the energy of February where you're going to have to be really strong in the decision that you made because you already made it. Okay, so here we go with Temperance energy. This is when March, you're starting to balance out your energy. You're kind of like, okay, I gave all January the time for me to think things through about these people and about the situation. February is kind of this energy of, that's it. I said what I said in January. I'm just going to continue it. And then these people start revealing themselves towards you. Their masks remove and you can see them for who they really are. And you're reflecting on the fact that how you allowed these people in your life and how they're a reflection of all the different people that are just like that you've left in your life, right? And so we're entering into Temperance. It's like, yeah, I made the right choice. I'm moving away from this and I'm taking the lessons that I learned so that the shit that I received, I'm going to turn it into gold, right? And I'm very stubborn with the idea that I made that I'm going to move forward. Four of Pentacles. You're like, I said what I said. Magician, I am going to create the reality that I know I deserve because I have these tools that I have to move forward. I do not need you in my life for me to feel that wholeness. I rather go alone. Nine of Pentacles. I have a lot more to offer somewhere away from here than here. And then we have the Death card. And then it's over. So whatever it is that you're initiating in January, it's definitely over by March. And then what I see, because this is why I pulled some extra cards for you, is the Lover's card. The Lover's card is a choice for a new connection. And here we have two masculine energies the King of Cups and the King of Pentacles, with the card of the Six of Swords. That is telling me that you're going to have two options of stability. One of the options is it's a stability that's going to come in your finances. And the second option that's coming is the stability that's going to come in your emotions. There's something where you feel safe, secure, balanced in emotionally, and something that you're going to feel very good financially with. Both of them are entering your life. That is what you're moving towards. When you're leaving this behind, you are literally moving into financial and emotional stability. I'm loving that. I'm hoping that in the future, as you're moving forward in this, you'll get the King of Swords, because right here we have the King of Pentacles. That's your partner from the Queen of Pentacles that you got in February. You have the King of Cups, and then you have the Queen of Swords. So now all you need is the King of Swords and the King of Swords, the King of Wands, and then the I think you already got all the female energies. I'm not sure, but you guys know what I mean. I'm feeling like you're starting to get into this energy of working towards becoming the Emperor, because when you remember when I split the deck, I saw the Emperor card. To be the Emperor, you need to embody the energies of all the queens first. The queens first, and then the kings, and then you become the Emperor. Okay? So when you embody all the queens, you become the Empress. You need that emotional stability and that psychic connection with your spirit guides before you can start the journey of the kings to then get that spiritual authority. And I think that's what's happening with you. Like you're going step by step by step to your ascension process. And your ascension process definitely has to do with your king energy. I just look in the bottom of the deck and we have the Page of Pentacles. I do believe that this is you're still in the beginning of this movement forward. But you're definitely investing in the right things because you're investing in yourself. Um, this is talking about, this is why I feel like everything is distorted right now, because what you're doing is that you're healing you. Okay? And the way that you see the world that had you distorted. Now, before I used to do a lot of affirmation cards, and then I stopped for a while, and I felt the calling to do it again. So I'm going to be pulling one of these affirmation cards for you. I actually got 3. Okay, just this one. It says, I open my heart to love. Is in the back. It says, love is not just looking at each other. It's looking in the same direction. Anton de Saint-Exupéry is what it says. And I feel like this is so weird because the next one after that fell also has a heart. And so this is talking about healing your heart space strongly. I feel like you have chosen a lot of people in business, in family, in life in general, partners and stuff, that had more to do with these people were aligned to the way you grew up, right? That's the way my family used to think. That's the way things were when I was growing up, etc., etc. You aligned to people that were, when it came to partnerships, that were connected to your soul, your family group. And what you're starting to notice is that that's not good enough for you anymore. And you actually want to align to people that are the same as you in your soul. And so that means choosing different people, because as you start reflecting on the sabotagers, on the broken relationships, on the toxic situations around you, each one of those people embodied somebody of your family and a belief system that you acquired by them. And so when you start healing, you start realizing that, and you just start rejecting those individuals. And then that's when your life becomes better. So this is going to be an interesting 2026 for you, my Leos. I hope you enjoy.